Wake up and smell the coffee, Mr. LaRusso.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Yo guys, back to Cobra Kai Karate. Welcome back to a brand new video. And guys, today I'm saying my top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. Now, with this list, I know I'm going to offend a lot of people because Cobra Kai is on here, obviously, but where it is might make you feel mad. And I'm not going to say if you guys disagree with me. I know you guys are going to disagree with me. Just know this is just my opinion. And my opinion is always going to change with my TV shows. And yes, I know my channel is a Cobra Kai channel, but like I said, when we talk about all movies, all shows, if you guys want to hear what I like and don't like, that will be talking about this channel after season 6 about all movies. So anyway, getting into my top 10, guys. There's still a lot of big shows I've not watched. I never watched Dexter or Game of Thrones, Squid Game. There's a lot of shows I've not watched that I plan to watch, but this is my top 10 for now. Let's get to it. All right, coming at number 10 is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel show. Now this show, when I first watched it, I loved it. It started off amazing. Season 1, 2, and 3, and 4 were amazing. You get to 5 and 6 and 7, it starts to turn into a show I just despise because it turns into this weird space alien show, and then people are dying, not dying, coming back to life as a robot, not a robot, and it just starts doing way too much. The earlier seasons, I really loved it because first off, I think the characters and acting were great, the story was great, and most importantly, I thought it was just a fun show, and that's why I have it in my top 10, even though it ended not in the best way. But for anyone who's a Marvel fan, I definitely recommend to go watch the shows, at least the earlier seasons. Season 4 is my favorite. That's when they got Ghost Rider in there. They explore a lot of great stuff, a lot of great character development. So that's my favorite one, but yeah, that's my top 10. All right, coming at number 9. Now, I don't give a frick that I'm almost a full-grown man. I'm going SpongeBob. You heard me, SpongeBob.
Fuck all that Family Guy. I'm watching SpongeBob. That's the shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker lives in a pineapple.
It's true.
Under the sea.
It's true.
The show is amazing. I don't care what anyone says. Look, I understand it's a kid show, but I've been watching it ever since I was a kid. I can still watch that show, and it is just very entertaining. I know I shouldn't have SpongeBob in here, but I'm going to. All right, coming at number 8. Number 8 is a fan favorite by a lot of people, and I do like the show. But I'm number 8. I'm going to go Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things, I think, is a great show. All the seasons are great. I don't think there's any bad season. For me, Stranger Things, the reason I don't like it, I guess I just don't connect with the story or characters as much as I do for the ones ahead of it. Now, I find the acting's amazing, the writing's amazing, the action's amazing. It's just a fantastic show. And look, maybe after season 5 and the show's complete, maybe I'll like it even more. But right now, the shows I have ahead of it, it just does not compare. But obviously, if you guys want to hear, I'm gonna cover season 5 Stranger Things on my channel when it comes out. And if you guys want to hear my ranking for Stranger Things seasons after season 5, I'm probably do that. But I'll say right now, season 3 is my favorite season. It might be season 4, but season 3 gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. But anyway. Coming at number 7, I have a show who, if it kept going how it started, it could have been top, maybe even 3. I'm going Walking Dead. I even got the Rick Grimes coat on right now. So I love this show. It started off amazing. Just how they develop these characters and how the characters move along with the story and how they go on and they go on this journey, and it goes on for so long and so much crazy stuff happens, so much development. You feel like you're a part of this group that is just trying to survive. It started off such a natural story. Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was so good. Like the drama, the development, everything. Season 3 wasn't my favorite, but still great. Season 4 also was a bit much, but I love it. And you get to season 5 and 6. 2 of one of my favorite seasons. But then you get to season 7, where Negan joins. And I'll say right now, Negan's one of my favorite villains of all time. But him in the story does not fit, because now it turns into more about humans and these wars between people and their empires rather than actual zombies or walkers. And it just gets way too corny, way too campy. The characters turn into boring development, and honestly, it's just a testament on when to end a show. If they ended it in season 6, I think that would have been the best ending, but that's just my opinion. All right, well, obviously, I just don't end it with that cliffhanger. Have that out. All right, coming to number 6. Guys, get ready to come in the comments. I already hear it coming. Number 6, I'm going Cobra Kai. I know. Now, let me say this right now. Cobra Kai in its prime is the greatest TV show of all time. My personal favorite. And for a long time, this was my favorite season. But with season 6, it really tarnished a lot. And you guys know, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, I love the seasons. I love the show so much. How season 6 did it, for me personally, since I'm so connected to these characters, maybe if it was another show, like let's say my number 1 or my number 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, it ends bad. I could still have it in my top 5. For Cobra Kai, I love these characters so much that when I saw what they did with season 6 of the characters and completely destroyed the characters and the story, whenever I rewatch the show, it's still great. I still love it. But as they're doing these great stuff, this great character development, I'm sitting there thinking, all this means nothing because season 6 destroys it. That's why I struggle with it having it in my top 5 anymore. And let me just say, season 1 was a fantastic season. Season 2 had some great action. Season 3 is one of my favorite television seasons of all time. Season 4 was great action. Season 5 was one of the best stories, one of the best arcs I've ever seen. Everything was great. You get to 6th, it's one of the worst television seasons I've ever seen. It's just not good. So, I'm sorry. Maybe if season 6 was good, it probably couldn't have because the story really should end in season 5. But let's say season 6 was good. This show would probably be it would be top 3. Maybe even number 1. But with how they did it, I just really have struggling. And maybe it's recently biased because I'm watching a bunch of shows right now that I love. And Cobra Kai I'm not loving right now, the newer stuff. But I'm just having a hard time putting over the shows ahead of it. Alright, down to my top 5. Now, number 5 was a television show that only has 2 seasons, but I love it so much. And the first season is my greatest television season of all time. And this is Punisher. Look, I could go on for the show forever. Season 2, I'm not even saying season 2 wasn't even that great. Season 2 was fun. The acting was awesome. The arcs were great, but the pacing was all over the place. The acting was a little weird at times. Season 2 wasn't even that great. But season 1 of Punisher is my favorite TV show of all time. Television season of all time. And Frank Castle is one of my favorite characters. How they explore this person where he does care, but he's almost an anti-hero. And he's a person whose whole family died, and how he deals with that. And the action they put into it, the arcs they put in with him, how he tries to live his life. And season 1 individually, I mean, how they develop that stuff, the action with his best friend Billy, dude, it's just so great. And I just cannot wait to see him in the Daredevil show, which will bring me to my number 4. My number 4 is Daredevil. And look, Daredevil is just so good. And I can now be Daredevil Reborn again. You guys already know I've been talking about this for a long time. But something about a superhero, or more of he's not really like a superhero like Superman or Hulk. He's this underground superhero who is blind, has these senses. And one of the best things about him is his arc. The greatest super comic book arc of all time was taking place in this Daredevil TV show. From a guy who does not want to kill, who resents killing, but he feels like he's forced to. He tries to get Kingpin in jail. He gets him in the right way, but he controls the prison, and he gets out again. Where now he's pushed where all the people that he's killing, that Kingpin's killing, is on his hands. And now he feels, because he's a Catholic, it goes against him as a sin. And now he doesn't feel what to do. And then we get this the first season where he's about to kill him, and he tells him, no, you don't get to destroy who I am. That right there is one of the best superhero arcs I've ever seen. And the side characters, the action, the cinematography, the acting, the dialogue. I mean, it's just a beautiful show, and it's one of the best things Marvel's ever produced, ever. All right, now to my top 3. Number 3 is a television show that I actually just started watching maybe a year ago, and I just finished it like a couple weeks ago. This is Sopranos. This is a show it's been regarded as the greatest TV show of all time, but I never got to watch it. And I finally went to watch it, and I just could not turn it off. It was completely the opposite of what I thought. I just thought a really cool mob boss. But what they do in the show about a mob person who goes to therapy, and he is emotional about these things, and he's open up to him. The scenes where we see him talking to the therapist, and then we see the therapist talking to a therapist because of this. I mean, everything was just, that right there right now is just so interesting. And one thing about The Sopranos, at least for the earlier seasons, it doesn't really have a plot. Really, if that makes sense. It doesn't have a start and a finish. It's really about, it does have a plot overall, but the main thing about the show is just showing these characters in this world and how they interact with each other and these interesting situations they get in, like all these subplots they put in. There was a whole episode that I loved about Christopher getting shot, and he finally went to hell, and now we have Paulie, who is now scared about going to hell, and we see him go through that. There's just so much things that they explore in this show, which is amazing. And Tony Soprano is one of the greatest characters. He was the first anti-hero brought to television, and this was the first television show to really bring a cinema aspect to it. If this show did not happen, it changed television shows forever. You would never have Breaking Bad without this. You would never have Dexter without this. You would never have all these anti-heroes without this. Punisher. This show really paved the way. And Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, and how he acted him, and the emotionalism they bring to him, and the characters, the developments, the action. I mean, it is just insanely good. I think putting my opinions aside, if we're just talking about the greatness objectively, this show deserves the throne to be the greatest television show of all time. And most importantly, the ending is perfect. I mean, it is one of the best endings I've seen to a television show outside of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and maybe I haven't seen this show, but I heard The Wire has a great ending. I never saw it though. So it is just fantastic. No bad season, great characters, great development. I mean, it's just amazing. All right, my number 2. Now, my number 1 and 2 go back and forth each other all the time, and they're both part of the same universe. You guys probably know what it is. But right now, to my number 2, I'm going Better Call Saul. Got the hat right here. Now look, you guys know what my number 1 is. You all know what it is. And I go back and forth with these. And it really comes down to which one I've seen the earliest or the latest. Whatever one I saw last, it turns to my number 1. Right now, this is not it. But Better Call Saul, if I'm taking that character from Breaking Bad and putting this thing where he doesn't feel like he was forced to be this guy. A lot of people say he's always like this. You know, his brother Chuck says he's always like this. And to some degree, he's right. But people pushed him to who he becomes. And how they do the arcs with him and Kim, that whole relationship, the villains they bring in, how they develop Gus's character, and just individually, when you get to the 5th and 6th season, oh my gosh, I can't even conceive the arcs they go down, the plot they go down, the action they go down, the tension, like season 6 individually. Like when you get that first half where Lalo comes in, oh my gosh. I mean, this show is just impeccably good. And honestly, the fact it never won an Emmys award makes me lose all respect for an Emmy. If I hear a show won an Emmy, I do not care, just for the fact the show never won an Emmy. Disgrace. It's one of the best cinema piece in human existence, and it never got an award. Disrespectful. But my number 1, I'm going Breaking Bad. This show is just everything. Anything you want from a TV show, you get it in this show. From one of the best character developments of all time, from one of the greatest anti-heroes and one of the greatest villains of all time, one of the greatest side characters of all time in Jesse Pinkman, one of the greatest villains of all time. I mean, just the plot overall, just the overall plot is so fascinating about this high school chemistry teacher, 50-years-old. He's kind of a pushover, really masculine man. One day he finds out he has lung cancer. He has to do meth because he's really good he's really smart. And when he starts getting this world, he gets pulled into it where his ego takes control of him and it slowly grows him into a villain. And then you get the 5th season, my favorite season, where we see these characters get broken over and over again. The family, Hank, Jesse Pinkman, absolutely. And then Walter White, where he goes out in his own way and doing everything he can for his best, leaving his money for his family and dying there. I mean, it is just such a good show. And the comedy they introduced, the action they introduced, the drama they introduced, I mean, I just can't put into words. And I know Breaking Bad is a cliche answer, like it's the biggest show of all time probably. It's well known for a reason. It's well known because this show is the greatest show of all time. I really don't think any person that is a fan of cinema can watch this and not like it. It is insanely good. The acting, oh my gosh. Some of the best acting in television history, maybe the best acting. So, there's my top 10 list. I know I made some people mad at my Cobra Kai thing. I'm sorry. But I had to be honest with you guys. I could lie to you guys, just say Cobra Kai is my number 1 just to get people off my back. But I'm always going to be honest with you. Breaking Bad is my favorite. And that's my top 10. Yeah, is it kind of weird that my top 10 has SpongeBob and Sopranos and Breaking Bad in the same one? Maybe, but I don't care. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Tomorrow the trailer will come out. Make sure to check out live. We'll be going live to count it down. It'll be fun, and I cannot wait. So, see you guys then. Always remember, extreme measures are extreme measures. Peace.
Mommy,